Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. I'm Gina Pike, and I'm so happy to have you here. There are a lot of new people joining lately to our family, and we are so happy that you guys have chosen to join us. I'm going to be talking today about 3 projects that I'm currently working on. I mentioned these a little briefly in the WAYK 10 video update. I told you a little bit about the yarns I was going to be using, and all 3 of them have gotten into the first clue, and I want to share a little bit of that with you today. The first project I'm going to talk about is the Ultimate Advent Stash Buster Shawl. I have to say it slowly or it comes out weird. I call it the UASBS because saying that other is a little bit hard for me. My tongue gets a little tangled. This pattern is by Debbie Bowanko, and it's sponsored in the Never Enough Lace group in Ravelry. And this project is a great project to use up those Advent mini skeins that you may have bought that you can't find the perfect project for, or you can use remnants, leftovers from other projects that you have knitted in the past, and you need 12 different colors, and then you also need a color that will go with all of them to use as the divider. I'm going to put a picture here of the colors that I have picked out of my stash to use, and I am thinking about maybe mixing it up a little bit. All of these are solid colors, as you can see, but I'm thinking about maybe I have some mini skeins that are a little bit more variegated. I'll show those as well, and I'm thinking about mixing it up a little bit and just making it pop a little bit more for the colors. I kind of picked a color palette that was a little more muted at first, but now that I've done the first clue, I'm getting a little bit more brave. And let's show you the first clue, and then I have some points to talk about. This is the first clue of this Advent Stash Buster Shawl, and this is called the Turkish stitch. Basically, you cast on with 3 stitches. I think it was 2 or 3, and then it increases. This is going to be an asymmetrical triangle shawl. You can see the Turkish stitch here. Let me get out from behind it. Maybe that'll help. You see, it's just an easy lace stitch. It was very easy knitting, and you have these borders here that you knit, garter stitch borders, to help it lay flat. And that is the first clue. I used Manos de Uruguay Fino yarn. I don't remember this colorway because I had all these little mini skeins together, but this is what it looks like. I think it's Havisham. I might be wrong on that, but anyway, I'm loving it so far. And the thing I want to mention about this project, maybe I can do it with it hanging in front of me. That way you can continue to look at it instead of having to look at me. I know you'd rather see the knitting in the yarn. Okay, basically, this is a mini clue knit along. So you're going to get a new clue every week. Like this last week's clue. This started on the 22nd of January. So on Saturday, we're going to get another new clue. And actually, I think today we got a new clue. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. You get a new clue every week. And each one of these clues are not long. They take about 90 minutes to 2 hours to knit, depending on your skill level. And mine I timed myself, took me 2 hours to knit. I do have to take breaks, so I had to calculate it a little bit, but it took me 2 hours to knit this. And, these are designed so that they don't monopolize your whole knitting week. So you can, knit other things, which I'm going to show you. But basically, this is an asymmetrical triangle. It was 3 stitches. I should have looked at my notes when I was talking about that. And it can be made with 12 mini skeins or remnants from other projects. Sorry, I'm reading this to you. I want to make sure I get these points in. And at the end, there is a lengthening recipe, which means that if you have even more leftover yarn and you want to make it bigger, you can. There's a recipe that will help you do this. And the great thing about this is that if you go into Ravelry and get into the Never Enough Lace group, you can interact with these other knitters who are knitting this project right now, and you will see pictures of their in-process shawls, and it is so much fun to interact with them. They all have a really good sense of humor, very welcoming, very kind people, and you'll get to know these people, and you're all knitting the same thing at the same time. This project's going to run over 20 weeks, new clue every week, and so from I think it ends in June. So in June we'll have a finished shawl. The other thing about this, going ahead and going into Ravelry and participating in this group, is that there's going to be prizes. There's going to be three prizes. There's going to be a prize for the cast on. Your name's drawn randomly from those who did participate. You have to post a picture in the group of your cast on. You have to post a picture of there's a midway prize. We're midway through the shawl, and then there's a prize for the finished object. So there's 3 chances to win a prize in this group. So please jump in, knit this along with me. And there's, I think, 20 something other knitters right now. Let's get this number up and have a lot more fun here. And just also something special just for you guys, just for my YouTube family, Debbie has given us a special code. If you haven't gotten this pattern yet, you can buy it in Ravelry. It's $7.50, but the special code for my YouTube family is Turnpike. And if you put that code in there, you'll get $1.50 off the price. And this coupon is going to be good until February the 12th, and it will end at midnight Eastern Standard Time on February the 12th. Anyway, I thought that was really cool that she's just given us a coupon to get the pattern. So take advantage of that if you're interested in knitting this project with me. And I guarantee you will love that group. You will have so much fun. And one thing I wanted to mention, I didn't mention this before I get into this next project. For the new people that are here and all the other people, if you guys ever want to interact with me, sometimes it's hard to put something on YouTube, and you don't want to just put it out there for everybody to read. You guys can always email me. My email address is in the description of the channel, but it is knitbymoonbeams@gmail.com. You can connect with me in Ravelry. I'm Knit by Moonbeams, or you can connect with me in Instagram. I'm Knit by Moonbeams. I should have called this channel Knit by Moonbeams, but anyway, you guys know why I called it Knitting Turnpike, since that's part of my last name. Anyway, let's get on to the next project. This next project, I'm really excited about knitting this because I've never ever knitted Japanese lace before. This is called the Japanese Sampler Scarf. The pattern is by Tony L. Lorenz, and this is a year-long project. So we're not going to finish until December of this year, but every month you get a new clue, and it changes. Each clue will change, and this is a scarf, and it's like a sampler scarf. So she's testing out different Japanese patterns that she's created based on this book by Hitomi Shida. I hope I say her name right, but this Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. And anyway, she's picking patterns out of this and creating her own. And I'll show you the patterns that this clue is based on. But here we go. This is the clue for January. And I'm using Manistee Uruguay Fino yarn. Again, it's one of my favorites. It has great stitch definition because it's got 70% wool. But this is clue 1. And this color is called Filigree, bright yellow. And when I get to the beads part, I'm going to use a gray bead to celebrate the colors for the 2021 Pantone colors, which are yellow and gray. Anyway, I thought that was really pretty. I'm loving the cables, how it's making these edges pop here. And I'm loving the center section, how you can see how it it cables in, but then there's like some leaves right here. It's just really a beautiful, beautiful design. And I will say this, I meant to mention this is a charted pattern, so there's no text. So it's a little bit harder, but if you just take it stitch by stitch, you can figure it out. You can do it. I didn't learn how to read charts until last year, and it's made my knitting a little bit faster, but I used to not knit any patterns that didn't have the text written out. But you know, if you just maybe take it and write it out yourself, if you have trouble with that, but just stitch by stitch. It's not that big, so you can do it. And you know, anyway, it turns into a beautiful design so far. Now this stitch pattern, she said these edges right here were based on pattern 195 in the book, and I'm going to show you that so you guys can kind of see. It's this one right here. You can see it's this one. So you can kind of see how the edges here, she kind of designed off of that same pattern. It's this one, and it's these edges that my fingers are pointing on down. This part right here. Let me see if I can hold it a little bit better. So you can see how the design looks like that a little bit. If I could hold them side by side, there we go. And then the center section, this part here, she said was based on the design in pattern 24, which looks like this. And you can already see how that center section has that. So that's what she used to base the center section on, and you can kind of see how it goes in. But she did make it different because she has these leaves at the top. But anyway, I thought that was very interesting. And if you don't have this book is so beautiful. I've had it for a while, but I just haven't really dug into it. But some of the patterns that you can see in here are just stunning. I mean, they are just stunning, stunning, stunning this year, because I've never taken the time to knit them. And I'm so excited about that. Look at that pattern right there. Try not to show the pattern, but look at that design. And here's another design. Look at that. It's so beautiful. They're all just like this. All just so pretty. And look at these. I'm trying to get and that. And that. Anyway, just so pretty. Anyway, that's what a lot of this sampler scarf is going to be based on. And at the end of the year, we'll have a beautiful, beautiful scarf. Some of the stitches on the Japanese sampler scarf, pretty complicated, but Japanese lace is known for the cables, the deep cables, the twists and turns, and the noops. It's texture to the 9th degree. And one of the things I meant to mention, and that's why I'm inserting it, is that you know, you can take a stitch and twist it and turn it and make it something totally different. Like, for example, I'm showing you this picture now because at the front, that first the stitch that's on the right that I'm pointing out is a knit two together, but it's called an SPKP. And basically you have to slip your stitches to the right hand needle first, twist one of the stitches before you put it back on the left hand needle, then knit them, then knit them together. And you can see on the left is a regular knit two together where you don't do any twisting of the stitches. You just knit the two stitches together as they were already oriented on your left hand needle. And you can see they're totally different. The one on the right, which is the Japanese method, in this special stitch, this SPKP stitch, it makes the stitches open up. Those two stitches that were knitted together, they open up and lay a lot differently in your knitting, which makes the design look a little bit different. But the other, you know, and I thought that was very interesting. There's a lot of that in this Japanese sampler scarf, and I'm excited about getting into that. I'm excited about what next month's and the next month and the next month's going to show. And I think that if you do that project, you'll learn a lot. I think we're going to learn a lot of new stitches, learn a lot about how to reorient stitches to make them lay differently in your knitting. Anyway, the group and Ravelry that this is hosted by is the Knitting in the Loft group. Again, that's Tony L. Lorenz's group. The third project that I want to talk about is the 2021 Year of International Lace Scarf. The pattern is by Elizabeth Ravenwood. And I started working on this yesterday. What she's doing this one is she's asking us to knit. This is the edge for January. And after we knit this, you have to knit it again, and it's going to be the edge for December. So they're going to match totally. So you have to have 2 knitting needles to start this. And you knit this, and then you turn around and you knit it again. And before I turn around and show you, I wanted to mention, like, she's getting very creative with it, because like when you do this, she gives you an option where you can just knit the lace only, or you can knit the lace with beads, or you can knit the lace with noops and beads. And you know me, I will try the most complicated way first. That's just who I am. So I decided to try the lace and, the beads and the noops. So this is what I've gotten so far. As you can see, it turns out to be like a flower garden. And these are the leaves. And then up here you have flowers. And I did the noops for my flowers. I'll get closer so you guys can see them better. And hopefully my camera will focus on them. Can you see that? The noops. And I thought about undoing them this morning, because I was like, well, they're not really popping that well. I love how the beads pop on this yarn. And I do have another bead that I think would be beautiful with this yarn. These beads, these are topaz. So I haven't decided yet. I may frog these noops and use beads for the flowers. What do you guys think? Why don't you give me your opinions in the comments below? Would you do the beads would you do the flowers with the beads, or would you just leave the noops? I thought about trying to do noops and beads, but it didn't work. The noops are too close together to make it work. Anyway, what would you do? Would you do the noops? Would you do the flowers and beads? Or would you leave it the way it is? I'm trying not to get behind that. Anyway, so this is the 2021 Year of International Lace Scarf, patterned by Elizabeth Ravenwood. That is January's and December's edging. And what happens is when she said we're going to knit both of them and come to the center, like in June, we'll be in the center, and then you're going to combine both edges with a Kitchener graph. So I think it'll be fun. It's something different. I have done that graph before. Not the easiest, but we can do it. We can do it. It'll be fun. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, it is also a charted pattern. But this pattern, although it is charted, it is an easier chart to read and do than the Japanese sampler scarf. That one is a little bit more complicated chart. So if you want to pick a project that you're just getting into charts, that one would probably be a really good one to start on. It's easier to read and easier to do, not a lot of complicated stitches. And I think you guys should jump in and join with me. Also, if you don't know how to knit noops, I do have a video on 3 ways on how to make noops. I'll link that here if you guys are interested. If you guys want to join in and knit this along with me, I would love that so much. And again, the last thing I want to mention is, I know you guys know that I'm having a giveaway that's going on right now. I will be the giveaway will be open until February the 2nd, and then late on February the 2nd I will do a quick video and pick the winner, and then share it with you guys. And I wish there could be more than one winner. I really do. I love all the comments you guys are leaving, and I wish I had a package for each and every one of you, because it would just make my day to give that to every one of you guys. I wish I had. If I won the lottery, I would do that. because it would just be so much fun to do that for all of you guys, and we could all sit around and knit socks together. But I haven't yet, so I only am going to be able to pick one winner. But I do think I'll probably be having another giveaway right behind this, because I did overlook the crocheters that are here, and I deeply apologize. I should have thought that better. I should have considered you guys, and I'm sorry I didn't. And I will have a giveaway for socks that's geared more toward the crocheters that are here right after this one is over. I promise you. Anyway, so happy that you guys are here. So happy that you guys are joining our family, and we would love for you guys to interact. Again, make comments on videos, make comments down below, email me. Let's just get involved with each other and get to know each other a lot better, and share our knitting and share our love of yarn, and support each other. With that said, I just want to ask that you guys to help me grow the channel, of course, by sharing, and subscribing. And the other thing is, I'd like to try to share love with people that I know that are also out there working on YouTube, that's in the fiber arts. Take a look at some of the channels I have in my recommended channel section, and if you see something you like, go ahead and show them some love as well. It's about spreading love and positivity and being kind to each other, and that makes the world a better place. Thank you guys so much for being here and letting me share my knitting with you. It's been so much fun, and I look forward to the next video, and I hope you all have a very marvelous, lovely, very blessed day. Thank you again.